Ladies and gentlemen, it's a new year, new goals, new expectations, same Barcelona. What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel, guys. Welcome back to Omar Talks Football. And Happy New Year to all of the Kool-Aids and every single one of you. This has been a beautiful start to our year as Barca fans. As ladies and gentlemen, in the Catalan derby, we went to the RCDE Arena. A stadium where we haven't lost in a long time against an informed Espanyol team that were going on a 5-game winning streak. They were cooking. They were absolutely creasing. They couldn't wait to run the fade against Barcelona, especially that man that we have in goal who was once one of their own. But ladies and gentlemen, despite all of the work, despite all of the chances, all of the opportunities that they had in that game, in the end, it's a result-based business. And Barcelona, ladies and gentlemen, have gotten the result. Barcelona 2, Espanyol 0. And let's be honest, we robbed Espanyol of their J's today. That is the embodiment of scumbagging a win. That is the embodiment of an ugly victory. That is the embodiment of a fugazi win. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen? I do not care, because it's a result-based business. And I won the result. And I got the result. 3 points in the bag. And where else do I start? I mean, I could start with man like Joan Spider-Man Garcia. I could talk about Joan the Goat Garcia. I could start over there, but you know what? I'm going to save him for last, because I want to start from the beginning. I want to start from the beginning. And the beginning, ladies and gentlemen, is the starting 11. Now, the first time I saw the starting 11, I thought, you know what? Not a bad starting 11. But that was until I looked at the bench. And I saw the players that were on the bench, and I said, okay, no. Actually, I changed my mind. It's not a good starting 11. Because why is Rafinha in the 10 again? Why is Rashford starting? Why is everybody insisting on starting Ferran Torres when he clearly doesn't work? He's not consistent enough. But hey, I didn't want to be negative. I tried to give these guys an opportunity. And you know what? I was proven right. Because that first half was an absolute garbage first half. Rashford, trash. Rafinha, in the 10, trash. I'm sorry, the guy is not a 10, and I can't even blame him. He had a bad game today, but it's not his fault. He's not a number 10. Ferran Torres, once again, back to the old Ferran Torres that we all know and love and hate. Right? But really, let's be honest, right? That first half was absolutely garbage. We did nothing. Offered absolutely nothing. Did absolutely nothing. The best chance we created in that game for ourselves in that first half was the Yamal chance where he curled it and it missed. That's literally the only thing. And the only reason we left that game with anything in that first half was because of the man in goal. Joan Garcia today, oh my days. Like I mentioned, I'll talk about him. But he made a lot of great saves today, right? These guys, they barely had any possession, Espanyol. They had 28% possession in that first half. But they had 7 shots to our 3. In fact, they had the same amount of shots on target as we had shots in general. That is how bad the first half was. It was garbage. It was absolutely garbage. And fair play to Flick. He clearly saw his mistake, because he was playing today. Most of that first half, we were playing on the left. And God almighty, man. I keep telling people, I would rather see Rashford as a number 9 than a left winger. I'm sorry. The amount of times today I was seeing Balde bombing forward, trying to get across into the box. And instead of Rashford maybe going deeper in the box and trying to, be another option for a cross into the box, my guy was literally standing right next to him. He's like, bro, you're literally in each other's way. That's not good enough. And listen, I know Rashford has had a great season, right? He's been doing well. But today was one of his worst, if not his worst performance in a Barca shirt. It clearly didn't work. And the fact that we had to sacrifice Rafinha out in the 10 to play Rashford there completely backfired on us. But like I mentioned, Flick learned his lesson. He made the change. Thank God, right? He realized his mistake, took off Rashford, brought in Firmino, put Firmino in the 10, and put Rafinha back in his rightful position out in the left, right? But second half comes in and nothing changes. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is when I'm going to start talking about man like Jean the Goat Garcia. Brother, this guy is the best goalkeeper in the world right now. I don't care what anyone says. He is the best goalkeeper in the world. No one right now in world football is doing what this guy is doing. Courtois, I don't care. Donnarumma, no. Raya, no. Bro, I don't care what goalkeeper you put in his way right now. I'm sorry. What Joan Garcia is doing right now, this is prime Neuer. This is prime Courtois, bro. How he's playing right now. We would never, I'm telling you, chat, just like the Rayo Vallecano game at the start of the season, we were not leaving today with anything out of this game without Jean Garcia. With even a point. We weren't leaving with a point. But this guy saved he saved 4 one-on-ones, chat. 4. I counted 4 in my head right now. Remember in the game, the amount of chances, 4 one-on-ones, ladies and gentlemen. He saved all 4. He saved a point-blank header. Like, bro, this could have been more point-blank if you tried. He was literally, the striker, is it Romero? He's literally in front of the goal. It was harder to miss. My guy had a free header and somehow Jean Garcia saved it. He had another one-on-one where the player literally went past him and Jean Garcia stretched his hand and was still able to block it. And this is one of their own, you know. This is, and remember guys, Jean Garcia is Espanyol. This guy came from the academy. He grew up as an Espanyol fan. And ladies and gentlemen, on the night when their fans were burning effigies of him, saying that they want his head, my guy decided to say, all right, y'all want my head? Guess what? You ain't getting my head, but you're getting this 10 out of 10 performance against you. Just like last season. It is what it is. Oh my days. This has been one of the best signings I have ever seen at my club. I've seen a lot of great signings, but I've never seen a goalkeeper this good at my club. Jean Garcia might go down as the greatest goalkeeper in Barca history if he continues in this rate. I'm not even kidding. He will go down because right now, who are his challenges? Ter Stegen, Valdes, Zubizarreta, maybe. Who else? Like, come on. Like, if you look at Barca history, bro, there's not a lot of goalkeepers that are talked about in the history of Barcelona's history as the GOATs. He genuinely has a great opportunity to be one of the greatest, if not the greatest goalkeeper this club has ever made. And imagine the greatest goalkeeper in Barcelona history is an Espanyol Academy graduate. You couldn't write it. And I can tell why they're pissed. And you know what? It felt good. And you know what else felt good, ladies and gentlemen? It was the way we won this game. Because, guys, we created nothing. Absolutely nothing. We were trash. I'm telling you guys, what did we create before we scored? What? We had one good chance with Koundé from the corner kick. Great free header, great save by the goalkeeper, but that was it. Apart from that, we did nothing. And somehow, some way, hit them on the counter. Fermin Lopez finds Dani Olmo. And somehow, some way, we took the lead in the 87th minute. I enjoyed that goal. There are some victories that feel better. Not because of the performance, but because you know you don't deserve it, but yet you still went out there and won it. And that is the mark of champions. And that's what we did. We were garbage that whole game, but we still somehow scumbag the goal right in the end. And just before we could leave with all 3 points, we guaranteed we were going to leave with all 3 points when Lewandowski decided, here's the icing on the cake. Scores. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, all 3 points are ours. Life is unfair. Football is an ugly game. Espanyol, you guys played out of your skin today. But you know what? It's a result-based business, and Barcelona are in for the result. And this performance today, it wasn't great. It wasn't a great performance. It was garbage. But this is the kind of performances, chat, that I would say is the mark of a champion. This is the mark of a champion. Because you're not always going to play well. If you are championship material, You have to always have performances with the wins. But you're going to have games where you are going to get frustrated. But can you go out there and still get all 3 points? Even while being frustrated, even while being battered, bruised? Can you still do that? That is a mark of a champion. And that is what Barcelona did today. What a performance. What a win. We'll take it. The performance wasn't great, but the win is what matters. And ladies and gentlemen, 3 points, top of the table this weekend. We are now creasing, and we're going to be keeping an eye on Real Madrid tomorrow. But let me know what you guys are saying in the comment section below. Make sure you guys smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on notification. And ladies and gentlemen, Visca el Barça, Visca el Catalunya. And peace, you guys. Take care.